Hey guys, Adam from Splendid Sports. We're back for another 3 and 3. This is the 18th one, number 18. And this is a very special one because this is the first ever father and son 3 and 3. I'm happy to be joined by Tyrus and Matt, and they have an awesome channel called The Card Story, THA Card Story. How you doing, guys?
Doing well. How you doing, Adam?
Great. I really appreciate you jumping on here with me. I have some questions for you guys, but for anyone who might be catching a 3 and 3 for the first time, what we do is my guests here, they're going to show 3 of their favorite cards in their collection and tell us why. And then we're going to look at 3 of the cards that are on their want list, which they sent me already. And man, there's some nice cards. So this is going to be cool. And we're going to look at those and talk about those. But first, could you guys tell me a little bit about when did your channel start? Was it this or like last year, 2022? Was that the start date?
It was the Sunday before school started in August.
Yeah, August 12th. So it'll be 6 months this coming Sunday.
Awesome. I love the channel. Are you guys having fun with it?
Yeah, for sure. I'm having a blast.
I'm having fun collecting all the Hank Aaron cards.
Yeah, I bet you are. That's a great man. You can't pick too much of a better guy to collect than Hank Aaron.
Yep. We're happy to have as many cards as we can.
Well, he's one of my name mates.
Tyrus, what do you collect anything like of current players? Who's your favorite current player?
You do basketball, like Luka and stuff.
Can I do basketball?
Yeah, of course.
Luka Doncic.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, because you guys are in the Dallas area, right?
Yeah, we're in DFW. So yep, no, that's Mavericks are very popular here, as you can imagine. Interesting week with Kyrie Irving. So what's going on here?
Yeah, my friend told me about that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I have an opinion on it. I don't know too much on basketball or baseball or football.
Yeah, I think Kyrie Irving's going to be interesting. I'm not sure there's enough shots to go around is my fear, right? So we'll see.
I know what the marshmallow test is. That's what they said they were going to do with him.
Oh, okay, we'll see.
I have to ask you guys. So you mentioned Hank Aaron. Before we get into the 3 of the favorites, the Hank Aaron, you guys, I've seen on your channel, you have a Hank Aaron home run derby card. Could you, if you have that nearby, could you show that by chance?
Sure.
This did not make the 3. I checked on that. So this is a bonus one. So that is a 1959 Hank Aaron home run derby card, SGC 3, right?
Yep, it's 3.
Wow. Those cards, I don't think a lot of people understand how rare those cards are. I mean, they're very expensive, but they don't come up very often either. I know that because I don't think I could afford it, but I kind of have a saved search for the Mickey Mantle, home run derby card. And unless something crazy happens, I don't think I'll be able to get that one. But there's very few of them. They're very tough cards.
Yeah, there's about 40 to 50 of each player graded, kind of combined across SGC, PSA, and Beckett, right? So yeah, they're definitely difficult to find. And as you know, like if they were out there, people would be getting them graded, I think, right? Especially with the mantle. It's very expensive, right? So this one was affordable. I saw it on Net 54. I scooped up within minutes of seeing it because I know they just don't pop up that often, right?
Yeah, actually, if you look behind me, I have a bunch of magazines framed on the wall, and actually one of them there it's just like a cheap thing I got off of eBay, but it's a Mickey Mantle like promo for the home run derby, right there in the top middle.
Nice.
And because the home run derby has very, very special to me because I've mentioned this on my channel before, but growing up, similar to you guys, my dad, taught me all about all those guys, Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays. And the first time I ever saw those guys, it was 1988 or 89, right? ESPN actually brought it back and put the episodes from 1960. It was filmed in 59, but I think it actually came out in 60. They brought it back, and my dad videotaped all the episodes, and him and I watched all those episodes. Great memories. I remember the first episode was Mickey Mantle versus Willie Mays, which was incredible.
Yeah,
So,
no, Mantle was on 5 episodes. He had the most home runs, even though he was only on 5 episodes, right? So he did
yep.
well.
I think he was on the last one too. The last episode, he came back for one of them and ended up winning. So he was on the first and the last. But yeah, Hank Aaron, and it was cool because they would do it like, this was pretty good money back then. Like you'd win like $10,000 or something like that if you won the match, and that was a lot of money back then. So you could tell these guys, they wanted to win these. This was not like what you see now with a lot of the home run derby or all-star games where all these guys are so rich that it doesn't really matter. These guys wanted that money, and you could tell because they were kind of nervous. Like, after they'd have an at bat and they would sit down, it was a very awkward time because whoever the guy was that ran the show, he would ask him questions, and you could tell they weren't very comfortable talking.
No, yeah, Mark Scott was the host, and he was definitely an awkward conversation for sure. But yeah, no, you're right. It was I think they won 2,000 if they won, and 1,000 for second place. But Hank Aaron won 13,500 because they got a bonus if they got 3 home runs in a row. But it was more money than the players that won the 55 World Series got for winning the World Series, right? So it was a lot of money.
Yeah. So man, when I saw that, I had to mention that this is actually the closest I'm going to get. This is the
88 reprint.
Reprint from 1988.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I want to actually get the Hank Aaron reprint to go with it. But yeah, I think it has the writing on the side, right? Where they kind of write the reprint and the year.
It's CCC reprint 1988 right on the side there. Yep. So I just like the image, So that's probably as close as I'll get.
Huh. Well, hopefully you get one day. You never know. Prices can come back down. Mantles don't go down generally, but you never know.
Yeah. I mean, even the reprints, there's not a lot graded. I understand why people don't grade them, but there's not a million of those floating around either. So
no, we're like you. I know you have a lot of post playing day Mantle graded cards. We do the same thing for Hank Aaron. We collect it all, but obviously we like his playing day cards. But we have a little bit of everything. And
we'll get into this, but you guys are big CSG collectors, which I love because it's something you don't see every day. You hear all about PSA, SGC. So it's cool to see you guys have a ton of CSG graded cards. And aren't you the number 1 ranked Hank Aaron collectors in the CSG registry? Yeah, we have 184 of the 207 cards that CSG is got in the registry, right? But again, registry for CSG is way different than PSA. It's only been around less than 2 years. So a little bit different point in time. But no, yeah, we're definitely there. We have all but 4 of the cards that actually are needed. We just need to do a submission to get those last ones created and then keep up with it from there. But yeah, no, we're big fans. I know we did an episode a couple weeks back that was for fun, but made some grievances. But no, I like the slab the best for sure. I wish they maybe go a little lower in price to at least make CS or SGC and PSA sweat a little bit, but I don't see it happening. I wish obviously they'd grade some of these oversized cards. I'd like to get the home run derby card you mentioned. I'd like to get that in a CSG slab, but I think it looks good in this too. But I'd like to have uniformity. Yeah, I know. I hear you on that. And you're right. I totally agree that CSG, of all the slabs that I've held, it is the clearest and feels like the highest quality of all the slabs. So I totally agree. But yeah, it's I'm so far along with PSA and SGC that it's tough at this point to be all right, I'm going to, start going down the CSG route. So I have a few, but most of them I'm like a lot of people where I go with the PSA or SGC. The resale value is the best on those, right? Which has been great for us. So we've been able to get some what I call deals. Yeah. By buying the CSG slab, because people don't want them. Right. All right, guys. Well, let's get in. If you're ready, let's go with your first card of 3 of the favorites in your collection. What we got? All right, Ty.
1974 Topps Hank Aaron all-time home run king.
Oh, I love that card. Look at that baby. CSG 6, crystal clear. That's one of my favorite cards ever. Yep. This was the first card that Ty got at Hank Aaron.
My first sports card ever.
Yeah. We actually went to the Dallas card show last April, and he picked that up, and we bought it, just the card. Obviously it wasn't graded at the time. There were not a whole lot of CSG slabs at the show, right? But
you could tell if you go back to one of the first episodes.
We used to always have in the background
when we did our professional hand modeling.
Yeah, we used to not show our faces for the first maybe 15 or 20 episodes, and we switched over after John 3D80's kid kind of called us out a little bit. So, but yeah, back then we had it always in the background of all our videos was that 74 top, because it was kind of the beginning of the journey we've been on. Well, and think about how fun it's going to be years from now, hopefully you guys will still be making videos and everything, but to look back at some of these earliest videos, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it depends on your perspective, right? You know how it is. We're all growing, hopefully, and getting better. But no, we've come a long way. We've actually been able to complete the playing days run. We're going to do a video once we get all the slabs back from CSG. We're going to have all the playing day cards are done now.
We should do
for Tops and Bowman. Like, we don't have the OPGs in Venezuelan yet, but the main cards are there. So we'll do that probably in next couple months once we get them all back.
And I should have asked you this, but why Hank Aaron? What about him is the guy that you've chosen to super collect?
So affordability, right? So Tyrus is obviously he's named for Ty Cobb, and his middle name's Henry for Hank Aaron. So
nice.
I've got a couple baseball names in him. So Hank Aaron's more affordable, as you can imagine, but I don't want to tease too much on one of our wants later. We're going to try to at least remedy it a little bit and try to get a little bit of variety. But just he's a lot easier to collect, and there's just so many more cards to choose from, right? So
I like too many things.
We like too many. We have a lot of distractions.
I hear you, man. I'm with you.
So that was card number one. We're going to go to card number two? Let's
do it.
All right. So kind of back to that modern thing we mentioned a little bit earlier. This is actually my favorite card. It's the 2021 Topps Heritage.
Whoa.
When they did the 72 kind of flashback, but I like it because obviously, like, 2021 unfortunately was the year he passed away in January, so this is likely one of the last cards he was able to sign before he passed away. There's a red version that's actually numbered to 72, but that card's a common card, like, $1,500, $2,000. So this one's a lot more affordable. We got this actually on PWCC for a lot less money, and
the autograph's fully on the card.
Yeah, a lot of these ones he runs off the card. Obviously, I think later on he just signed as best he could, right? But this one actually is fully on the card. So the grade's a 7 for the card itself because there's a couple of corner issues, but the autograph got a 10. But just a really nice, crisp autograph, and obviously kind of sentimental to me, just knowing it's one of the last cards you probably would likely sign because it's on card as well. It's not a sticker. So
you could tell because you could look from the side with the light.
Yeah.
And there's like an indent.
Yep. That's number 2 for me. That's my favorite card that we have.
I love that. I have a few Mickey Mantle cards from like the 91 and 92 score where he has where he autographed a bunch of them for the packs.
Yep.
And he died not too long after that, a few years after that. So I know what you mean. It's to know that they didn't sign that many cards after that. That's it's very special. So that's awesome.
Do you have that 94 per deck where he's with Griffey? Or that's one I would love to have one day.
I don't know. I wasn't thinking. Yeah, I have the 94. I have the 94 upper. One of my best cards, 94 upper deck. But it's the one I don't have the Griffey. I just have the Mantle only auto, which saved me a bunch of money, which was nice. And so 94. I think he died in 95, so that was a year before. So yep.
No, that one's really nice. I'd love to get one. I think there's only like 1,000 copies of each, and people are very proud of those, as you quite well know, right? So
yeah, those are tough to find. I mean, they're out there, but expensive. But cool cards.
Yep. All right, Ty, you got card number 3.
55 Bowman, Hank Aaron. I like this card because it's like the main like baseball player we collect, and also it's like my favorite set of baseball, and it's just really cool, and I like it.
Yeah, so this one, Ty's actually building the 55 Bowman set. I'm not sure, you might not have seen the episode, but at the end of December, we kind of started doing some goals for this year, and he kind of shocked me because he's like, I want to build a 55 Bowman set because he likes the color television set, right? So we've actually been making a pretty good headway on that set. He got some of the bigger cards knocked out. We haven't shown them all on the channel yet, but he's made good headway on the set. We haven't really fully announced. We have like 75% of the set down now. So we actually ran into James Elite Hunters. He was at the Dallas Card Show in January, helping out one of the tables there, and they had a partial set for sale at that booth. So we picked that up for Tyrus. So he was happy to get it.
I can't tell you how much I love that. First of all, that is one of the best Hank Aaron cards, if not the best. I just love the photo on there. But I'm a huge fan of the 55 Bowman. That's like one of my favorite sets of all time. I mean, Ty, that you got great taste, man. I love that set. I've always loved it. That was like one of I've told this story before, but my dad always, like, when I was a kid, he would tell me like, hey, I had Mickey Mantle cards, and I would ask him, what did you have? and he didn't know like Bowman or Topps or anything like that. So, but he would just say, I know I had the one where he was on the TV. So that was one of the 55 Bowman Mickey Mantle was one of the first cards that I ever bought when I had the money, kind of in that honor. So, oh, there it is. Wait a minute.
We're going to use the Adam principle in Vintage Sanctuary and pull up the card you mentioned, all right? So we had it ready in case it came up, but yeah.
Show that one more time. Pull that up a little bit. Oh,
so that's
man.
an SGC3. So I'm not sure if we're going to cross it or not over, but we've been known to cross cards we probably shouldn't cross over given CSG's resale. But like I crossed a Jackie and a Ted Williams and a Willie Mays for my 54 top set that we're building, but from PSA and SGC. But I'm not sure if Ty wants to cross it or not. But yeah, it's Tyrus' first Mickey Mantle card, so pretty cool card.
That's awesome.
Heck of a way to start.
You're doing well on that 55 Bowman set. You already got, I mean, Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron. You've got probably two of the toughest ones out of the way.
Yeah, no, he got the big three, but and then obviously we still have the Kalen and Banks to go. We have a few more to go that are going to be a little bit expensive, but not nearly as bad as those three. So,
the other thing with CSG is, we don't know what the future is going to hold. In the future, CSG might be the highest resale values. Like, there's no telling. We have no idea. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's just whatever you think looks best. And they're a solid company. Obviously, they're partnered up with eBay, right? So I don't think they're going anywhere. It's not like you're putting them in some shaky company's slabs. I mean, they're here to stay. So
I think their parent company is doing well, right? I mean, they have the coins, the comic books, and they're really doing well in the Pokemon front too, the TCG stuff. So, but yeah, the sports cards, the grading numbers keep coming down a little bit, so it's a little concerning. But to your point, kind of collect what you like, right? These are all PC cards. We don't plan to sell them, right? So, in fact, we generally just give away our cards that are in other slabs. So, like a lot of my giveaways to this point of the channel have been just giving them all the PSA and SG slabs we got to other folks that may enjoy them more. Rather than I don't like to deal with selling them and shipping them, so just rather give them to someone else that can enjoy it.
Has CSG ever reached out to you guys, or
they did when we did the reveal video? So we did a submission when they were in the Dallas Card Show in November. And then right around Thanksgiving time, we got the box in and opened it on the camera. And then they had a couple comments they left in the video. They didn't comment to that one video we did a couple weeks back that I alluded to around some grievances, but I'm not sure if they saw it or not.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't checked that video out, that is a great with Theo.
Trained actor, you may. No, I'm kidding.
What's that?
The trained actor.
Yeah, trained actor. That is a great. If you haven't checked that one out, definitely check out that video. What is it called? CSG is failing. That's the title.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Yeah.
Great video.
But we still got the sweatshirts on. We haven't thrown them away. We're good.
Oh, I love it. I was thinking because I like to think, I know not all collectors care about the business side of the hobby, but I like to look at that end of it too. If I was CSG, I would, because they're in a good spot, but there's PSA, they're so big, SGC, and they're making a lot of money, right, through their parent company. If I were them, I would try to do something really aggressive. And what if they just said, if you've never graded a card with CSG or a new customer, we'll grade your first card for free or something like that, where you lose some money, but you're getting the slabs in more people's hands. I'm surprised they haven't been a little more aggressive with something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think they need to be more aggressive on price. Let the other businesses kind of float and let this be a loss leader, especially since they have the registry and SGC doesn't. They could try to leverage that to at least get some volume and some cards out there, right? Because I'm building the 48 Bowman set, the 54 top set, and it's tough to find them graded.
Right.
But I'm trying to get them all on CSG slabs, so it's a little bit of a slow journey. And 54 top set, not all the cards have even been graded yet. Not even one copy of all the cards that are out there. So I'm gonna have to self-submit a lot of them. But yeah, I'd like to see some more aggressive price. I think $12 to grade commons is tough for set registry folks, right? So I think if they get to 8 or 10 again, they'd bring a lot more people in. Or there's been rumors. I think Filmington did a video about they should just acquire SGC. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, right? They're both in Florida, right? So you never know.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be hard. That'd be hard though, because what do you do with the people that have already got 1,000 SGC slabs or whatever, right? So that's the issue. The logistics are difficult, I imagine. But yeah, I hope they get aggressive on it. They got Blackstone behind them. They're a major owner, right? So I can't imagine they're gonna be overly patient forever.
Well, I've heard in the early '90s when PSA first started, they were walking around card shows and they were offering to grade cards for free because they, obviously they were trying to just get people to grade cards, period. But they were doing it for free because they wanted people to see the process and hold it in their hand. So it's many years later, but I feel like some of these other companies need to think like that if they want to take some of this market share. Enough business talk, but I was thinking about that. Like, really, if they start getting a little more creative, other than like, hey, we're a few bucks less than PSA, I don't think that's going to move the needle, in my opinion.
No, I don't think it is either. And we're seeing it right now, like in the gem rate data. I'm not sure if you want look at that on Twitter or not, but like they're not getting very many cards. Sports cards graded. The CGC is doing fine, but the CSG is down to the hundreds per day now, which is not going to cut it, right?
Right.
So.
All right. Well, let's get into. You sent me a list of 3 incredible cards that are on your want list. I have the first one actually pulled up here in Card Ladder. Let me pull this up. Do you guys see? We got the first one here. This is the 1911 T205 Ty Cobb in an SGC2 that just sold back in January at Golden Auctions for $2,971, so almost $3,000. Is this the one? Do I have the right one?
That is the right one. Yeah, that's the one we want. So this is the one my wife and I agreed on. So she obviously she was part of the process of naming Tyrus, right? So like we wanted to get this kind of painted on his wall, but we were in like a rental house at the time in the process of moving to our new home, and we just never made it happen. So like this is the card she likes, and so obviously I got her buy-in. So we're going to try to make this happen at the National this year.
Oh, nice.
At that price?
Yeah, I'd like to get a 3 if we can, but we'll see what's out there. Like it just depends.
That's a 2 when it's almost $3,000.
Yeah, well, these are cards you buy, you just put them away. It's Ty Cobb. It's 112 years old.
That thing's beautiful. Like that is art right there, man.
Yeah, I mean, obviously one of the best players of all time. I know, like, look, I mean, obviously there's people that talk about off the field stuff, but like on the field, there wasn't anyone that was in it to win it more than Ty Cobb, I don't think.
Right. Yeah, it's an expensive card, but I mean, you're storing your money in the right place with a card like this. I mean,
I know you mentioned some of your videos. You don't want to even look at the pre-war stuff, and I'm right there with you. Like I don't go before 48, except for like we don't have any Babe Ruth or Lou Gehrig cards, playing day cards, or any like Cy Young or Christy Mathewson. I'd love to have them one day. I don't trust myself to like this is one I know we can do, but then I'll try to rip my eyes after this, at least for a little while longer.
Tyrus, I collect Mickey Mantle, Tom Brady, Larry Bird. I mean, these guys are expensive. So that it's not that I don't want these pre-war cards like this. It's just, I gotta watch it. I gotta watch my money here. But yeah, the longer I look at a card like that, it's just like I want it more and more. So I'm gonna get this baby off the screen because it's too beautiful and it's tempting, and I don't want to get too into these type of cards. But that's a great choice. Right,
and the back's really nice too because it's the first time they put stats on the back. That's why I like it. I like the whole card. That's why I don't want one with paper loss. So I'm probably gonna go a little higher grade to make sure we don't have paper loss because the back's really nice. I want to make sure we can see the stats and all that.
So that you said that's the first time they had stats on the back?
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's cool. That's awesome.
Because always before that was cigarette, it was like advertisements, right?
Right. All right, and then so your next card. This is a very popular one. I don't know the exact number, but there's been several people that I've done 3 and 3s with that have actually had this card on their list, and I understand why. So this, let's see what we got here. This is the 1948 Bowman Stan Musial. This is one that's 4 Sharp Corners one at just sold February 5th. PSA 3. Now you gave me actually grade ranges too, which was nice. So on that first one, you're looking for something hopefully in the 1 to 3 range on the Ty Cobb. This one, the 48 Bowman Musial rookie card, you're looking at something maybe in the 3 to 5 range. So this is a PSA 3 right here.
Okay. Yeah, so, no, I know. I think Lou Rock had this one on his list too. I know it's been on a lot of people's list, but like I said, I'm building the 48 Bowman set. We don't have any Musial cards, so we're trying to get, like I mentioned, the 54 top sets. That's why I like this set building process, because you're able to knock out a lot of the Hall of Fame cards, even if it's just in a couple sets. And so for this one, I just really want this one to be the next one we get, because I think this one's undervalued. Not that it's all about the price. I just want to be able to get it while I can still afford it. And build. I think obviously this one and the Spawn and the Bear are the 3, right? But from that set, but I think this card's undervalued. He's one of the best players of all time. Like, he was like the first utility player, right? He played like just as many games at first base as he did in the various outfield positions, right? So he played left, center, right field, whatever they needed to do, he did. I mean, if he wouldn't have gone to the Navy for that 1 year, he probably would have been 500 home run club too.
So, oh yeah, Yeah. You don't trust me. You don't. I mean, I totally understand why this is such a wanted card. It's Stan Musial's rookie card, and now that more and more people are coming to the realization, like myself, that the 40, what we thought was the 48 leaf Musial, that we thought that was a rookie card too. Technically, a lot of people are now saying that's the 49 leaf. So this would leave this as Stan Musial's true rookie card, right?
Yep. No, that's one of the reasons too. I think it was Dave Blue Jacket 66 was on with Mike.
Yep.
Moynihan talking about that. So yeah, no, this is definitely it's one of the cards. Even as a kid, though, I had a friend that his dad had one of these cards, and I'm like, I wish I'd have been more into vintage back then instead of all the Barry Bonds and Mark McGuire cards I had from '87 Topps. But
you and me both.
I didn't make a play. I was too naive.
We all were. But yeah, great choice there. And you know what? Still, like you said, like this one here, you could get a 3 for under $1,000, which is really nice it's a rookie card of who I would consider top within the top 10, in my opinion, greatest players of all time. And I mean, you could probably have them lower than that, but I consider him in that top 10 for sure. So
yeah, top 10, top 12 for sure. Yeah, he's right there. I mean, most of the statistics he's like top 5. Obviously just missing the year, like his 25-year-old season. Would have been nice to have that one back, but happened to a lot of the guys back then, right? So different times.
Well, look, I've done my part to make sure people don't forget about Stan Musial on these 3 and 3s. He almost on just about every episode he comes up and we show his card. So I'm happy about that. That's I never get tired of talking about Stan the Man.
Yep.
All right, and the number 3. This is cool because I don't know too much about these. I've obviously heard of them, but this is the 1954 Johnston Cookies, Hank Aaron. Let me see if I can get a good image of one here. Cookies. Now these, let's see. Oh, here's one. All right. This one sold Golden Auctions on January 4th for just about $1,700. Now this is a PSA 4 miscut. So, but it looks still pretty good. Is this the right card?
That's the right card. Yeah, that's gonna be another one I won't be able to get in CSG though, because it's really narrow, but they're really tall, and they don't have slabs for it yet. But probably look to get SGC or PSA for sure. It's one of those cards. I think there's actually a lot more of these than there is the 55 Johnston Cookie card. But these cards were obviously regional, issued in Milwaukee. Like there's not a ton of them out there. This one has like maybe 300 or 400 in the pop report for Hank Aaron, so it's not totally rare card, but obviously from that rookie season's one of the main reasons I want to have it. Right, it's just, you don't see it every day. A lot more rare than the top rookie card.
And these were they in like packs of cookies basically, or is that how they were distributed?
Yeah, for 54, and then in 55 they actually came in panels, or you could get them in individual packs. So yeah, it's just a really, really interesting set. Like obviously regional food issue, so they weren't widely distributed, right? So it's not really probably considered by like Victor as a true rookie card. But I think just having that young image of him, definitely want to have it in our collection.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not it's his rookie year, 54, right? So that's like, man, that is, I just love the way that looks. I mean, just the colors on it and big smile. I mean, it's just that's just so cool. I don't think I've looked too much at that card before. I mean, I've heard like Johnston Cookies of the set and everything, but man, it's cool to see something like that. So like, yeah, you're looking at you were something in like the 3 to 5 range. So this would be right. Technically this 4 here probably sells for even less than like maybe a 3 would, right? Because it's got the miscut designation on it.
Yeah, they're about two to 3 is probably what I'm looking to spend on. 2,000 to 3,000 is probably what it's going to cost to get hopefully a nice looking one, right? So, but again, you can't be totally picky because there aren't just hundreds of them running around, right?
Right.
That's a national. So no, it's definitely a nice card. They did them for 3 years. They did them from 53 to 55. Obviously, Hank only being the last two years of the cards, and then they stopped after 55.
And you guys, we were just chatting for a couple minutes before we started recording here. You did mention that you guys are both going to the National this year in Chicago, right?
Yep. Our first National.
First time?
Yeah, first time for us. Yeah, we're really excited.
Ty, have you been to a lot of card shows before?
Like 2.
No, we've been to like 9 months in a row to the Dallas Card Show. So
yeah, there you go.
Well, it was 2 of them, but we got to multiple.
Oh yeah, so yeah, so there's two different venues. So there's one in Arlington, Texas, which is where like the Cowboys are and the Rangers. And the other one's up in Allen. It's just a suburb north of Dallas, but they're all called the Dallas Card Show. They're just every month they alternate locations in 2022. Now this year they're only doing the one in Allen. They haven't announced anything for Arlington, so we will actually have a card show for the first month since last March. We're going to have a dry spell here in February, so I guess I'll have to ramp up the eBay purchases to make up for it.
The Dallas Card Show is one that I've mentioned this before, but you've been to way more card shows than I've ever been in my life, Ty. I've never been to a card show in my entire life. I've been collecting for a long, long time. I was always like a card shop kid. Always went to the card shop. No one ever talked about card shows when I was a kid where I lived. I didn't know of any. None of my friends went to any. So we would just go to the card shop, and then, I was out of the hobby for a while. And then since I've come back, haven't been able to make it to one. So I'm hoping that the National will be my first one, but I would love to go to the Dallas Card Show at some point too, because I've heard some really great things about it. And, I know some people that go to them. So it would be cool to meet a lot of you guys that go.
No, for sure. Yeah, let us know if you're going to make it, because it's a little bit of a mix. It's probably like 70-30 modern. A lot of modern basketball and football, just being Texas football is popular here, right? Obviously, and then there's quite a bit of basketball, but there are some good vintage dealers that are there that we frequent every time we go. So we definitely never leave empty-handed. Let's put it that way. There's always something to get.
Well, I'm planning on going to Chicago too, so I can't wait to meet you guys. This is going to be. I'm really excited. I mean, my first card show. I'm 41, so
nice. A heck of a way to go. Let's run to the National.
Actually, I might be 42, but like my birthday is July 26th, and I think it's like that week, right? The National.
Yeah, that'd be like day one. I think that's is that the Wednesday? Because that's the first day. I think it starts is on the Wednesday evening. So yeah, that'd be your birthday night.
So I'll be turning 42 at the National.
Nice. Got to give Jackie Robinson a card to celebrate then or something, right? It's
yeah, there you go. Yeah, I need one. I don't have any Jackie Robinson playing days cards.
I was going to ask how's that coming along with your New Year's resolution to kind of get the missing vintage cards? I haven't seen a ton of shorts come out, so I don't know if you're making progress still on that or.
Yeah, I'm going to do a couple videos, like an update on that. I've knocked a couple off the list. But yeah, some of the guys that got on the list are expensive. So
I know.
I'm trying to like piece it out. You know what I mean?
No, it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I can't get everything overnight, right? So
I know.
It's a cool idea, though. I think it's good. Like, obviously, it's nice to have the player runs, like you mentioned, but I think having at least one of every one is important, right? So that's kind of part of the reason with building some of these sets. We kind of naturally knocks off some of the good players from all the various years in the 40s and 50s.
Absolutely, yeah. Now you've seen these before. At the end, I usually ask for you guys to recommend or mention another channel. I want to see if I could do something different though with you guys. Do you know of another father and son channel that I could do a 3 and 3 with? I think there's definitely a couple, right? Do you know of any?
Sure. Yeah. Andrew, so over at Page and Deanie Bean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Yep.
So he would be one I would definitely recommend. We actually talked to him I talked to him quite a bit via text. So he's got a little bit of everything. He collects sets. He collects autographs. He pulled a lot of wax in the 2000s. Just has some crazy like sweet spot autographs, just a lot of cool stuff. So highly recommend it. And then his son still collects all that. They open and collect the sets every year and stuff from Tops. So
and his son is how old?
I want to say 8. I'm not good with it. Yeah, probably 7 or younger than Ty, a little bit younger than Tyrus, I think.
Because Ty, you're 11, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that's I knew I subscribed to their channel. I don't know why for some reason it was like off the top of my head, but
the other one I know Orlando already mentioned. Like every now and then, Theo, the Clemente collector we talked about before, he'll have his kids on there with him every now and then, but not consistently, right? So they've been on a couple episodes opening to Pokemon cards, but so Clemente collector would be another one I'd recommend.
Perfect. Yeah, that would be great. Awesome, guys. Well, man, this was cool. This is what it's all about here. Father and son, that's the hobby right here, in my opinion. So, guys, I know it's getting a little late, so I appreciate you guys taking the time to do this. And I know you got some other videos you're doing this week. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me. And if anyone watching, if you don't subscribe, THA Card Story, Matt and Tyrus. If you don't subscribe, I don't know why, because it's an awesome channel. Everyone should be subscribing to your channel. So there we go. Any last words, guys? What do you want to say?
No, just wanted to thank you, Adam, for having us on. We definitely enjoyed it. This is a great show. I'm enjoying all the episodes. Happy to be episode 18. So look forward to more.
All right,
And I
guys.
just look forward to meeting you this summer.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye.